Hello. Hi, everyone. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Please hit that like button as you guys come in. Hi, Tommy. Hi, please hit that like button as you guys come in. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about a few different things. I really want to talk about Heart and Hustle Houston. And I also want to talk a little bit about Cynthia. I am going to be playing some clips for you guys today. So make sure you guys stay tuned. And please hit that like button, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful Monday. So yeah, let's get into it. So I am going to start with Cynthia just because I feel like let's just get Cynthia out of the way so we can then focus on Heart and Hustle Houston. Because I have loads of things to say about Heart and Hustle Houston. I feel like so much has happened on the show. And even though it's the first season of the show, I'm really excited to see how the show progresses over the next couple of seasons. Um, it has been a very good first season of the show. But what I'm going to do is share my screen quickly so we can deal with the whole Cynthia conversation. And then afterwards, we can get into Heart and Hustle Houston. All right. So let me just share my screen. Guys, please hit that like button as you guys come in. Hit that like button. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen. Give me a second. Let me just make sure it's the right clip. Okay. All right.
I mean, I feel like I can get the smoke too.
All right. So you guys may know that Cynthia has her podcast, her and her co-star, they have a podcast together. So Cynthia is basically talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta and how things are basically going on the show.
But I never feel like I'm the focus.
Right.
And I felt like in Dallas,
You were.
there was a couple things that happened where I became the focus. So
Oh, they are making Cynthia work for that check. They are making Cynthia work for that check. Okay.
I was like, oh,
Okay.
I'm getting some housewife energy over here. And, I'm over here trying to get friend energy. But the thing about being a friend and being a housewife for so long, that housewife muscle memory is still there. So
Who do you guys think was coming for Cynthia on this trip? Who do you think was coming for Cynthia? Because Cynthia she does not start nothing with anybody. She can be a little bit shady here and there, but she doesn't start ish with nobody at all. So who do you think was coming for Cynthia? Let me know in the chat. Who do you think was coming for Cynthia? Let me know. She said finally. Let me know who was coming for Cynthia in the chat because I'm just like, out of all of the girlies, who would really be coming for Cynthia? I don't, because like, let's go through the girls that we know. Portia, I don't see Portia coming for Cynthia ever. I feel like Portia knows that they have a really good connection. I don't think Portia is going to be coming for Cynthia at all. Um, I think that who else? Um, Tommy says maybe Kelly. Oh, could it be Kelly? Could it be Kelly? Ooh, Miss Chihuahua. Okay, I can see that. I can absolutely see Kelly because, of course, Kelly and Portia did not land well at the reunion. So maybe she's trying again and deciding to try things with Kelly, with Cynthia. Who else do you really think? Do you think Shamia could be involved? Let me know. Because Shamia clearly doesn't, she has a pattern of going for the wrong people, in my opinion. So could it be Shamia? Could it be Angela? Let me know what you guys think. Someone says Drew. Okay, so we have a Drew, we have a Kelly. Who else? Do you guys think Shamia could be involved? Drew, Kelly. Maybe a little bit of Shamia? Anybody? Shamia? Yeah, maybe Shamia. Who else? K Michelle. I don't necessarily think there's anything with K Michelle. So I don't really think it could actually be K Michelle. So I see someone else says Shamia. Maybe it could be Shamia. And someone said Shamia could. So it could absolutely be Shamia. Um, please hit that like button, guys, because I can see some people just came in. Please hit that like button. That helps with the algorithm. Please hit that like button. Okay, so let's keep playing the clip and we'll continue talking about it in a second.
I know how to get back into it, but I just was like, oh, okay, I had to reactivate it a little bit.
Right.
And you guys will see how it all plays out. But let's just say Dallas was, it was great. I think in terms of when you guys watching it, it checked every box.
Well, it's good you guys had Commissario
drama. There. I had to settle in.
You had to settle in.
I had to settle in a little bit on this trip.
The good thing is, I feel like we know enough to know that Cynthia can hold her own. I know that a lot of people feel like, what is Cynthia really doing on the show and stuff? But at the same time, I feel like Cynthia can hold her own. She's always shown that she can hold her own. And we've seen 50 Cent come out with Nini. 50 Cent has come out with Portia in the past. So I feel like we've seen enough to see that 50 Cent can definitely hold her own. So I feel like that definitely makes sense. Okay, so I'm going to play the rest of the clip and then we'll talk about it.
Because I feel like I'm always like kind of not, as a friend, I never feel like, I feel like I can get the smoke too, but I never feel like I'm the focus.
Right.
And I felt like in Dallas,
you were.
There was a couple things that happened where I became the focus. I was like, oh.
She writes, if it takes a group plot or rumor or scheme to bring me down when I'm coming in love, you already lost the game and lost in life. You have to be a sick person to plot and scheme on someone who is minding their business.
Ooh, so K Michelle, just to give you guys some context, K Michelle posted that. And I feel like I'm very, very curious to know who K Michelle is talking about. Now, Cynthia will give us some context, but not enough, in my opinion. I feel like I actually can't wait for the new season of Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's see who is doing what to who. Please. That's what I'm ready for. I'm looking forward to Cynthia's fight. She barely does anything during the episodes. Absolutely. I think Cynthia has always been very much like she is almost like a peacemaker, doesn't say much, doesn't do much. She has had some back and forth in the past, but for the most part, she never really starts it. But she's one of those people where, like, if you bring the mess, then she may catch it and throw it all the way back at you. But I just don't think she is on 10 every single time. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what she does bring to this episode. Or to this season, rather.
Care to respond?
Yeah. Well, I can't say a whole lot. That was...
Is that directed at a group? A person?
You know what? I feel like it could be at a couple of different people.
Okay.
We're still kind of getting to know Kay and all those things. So I don't have 100% clarity on who is behind that. Well, I know who tweeted the tweet, but who is being referenced. And we are still trying to figure all that stuff out.
So did you guys pick up that Cynthia said it could be directed at multiple people, which gives me the impression that a lot of things have been shaking up for K Michelle and the rest of the cast. That means K Michelle is probably not getting on with the rest of the castmates, or at least a good portion of the castmate. If Cynthia is saying she doesn't know who it is about, but it could be about multiple people. To me, that is literally exposing that, like, there is a lot more going on and it could be in relation to a few different people on the show. So that's what I'm thinking about. I don't necessarily see Portia going at K Michelle. I feel like Portia tends to be quite welcoming of like newbies, so I don't really see her going at K Michelle. Besides, I think her and Portia already had some sort of relationship prior, so I don't really see that necessarily happening. Now K Michelle and Kelly, I do see that happening because Kelly is annoying and K Michelle is not going to be here for none of that shenanigans. I can definitely see K Michelle and Angela going at it. I can definitely see K Michelle and who else? I can see K Michelle and Drew getting into it. Um, I feel like K Michelle and Shamia will probably be cool because I know Shamia knows that K Michelle is not about that life and K Michelle does not take no BS. So K Michelle is going to be dishing it back if it is brought to her. Or K Michelle might bring the mess, okay? But I really feel like I think that Shamia's people pleasing ways, she knows better than to come for freaking K Michelle. This is my personal opinion. I just don't see Shamia coming for K Michelle. So I would think it would be maybe Kelly. I feel like Angela also maybe also Drew. Because last I checked from last season, Drew seems to have an alliance with Angela. So I would say maybe potentially them. That would be like my inkling about that. K Michelle be having issues with different people. Yeah, I think to be honest, with the Love and Hip Hop back then, I do feel like some of the issues were also caused by other castmates. But I think it would be interesting to see whether K Michelle has really grown, whether she has really evolved. I think the way she has been sort of doing some of her posts, it's given she's still petty. So we're gonna be getting some petty K Michelle beef, I'm sure. But we'll have to wait and see how things go or how things play out. I do feel like we're getting too many spoilers, and I don't like that. It's bringing back memories of the last season where it felt like we were constantly getting a lot of spoiler alerts. I don't want to be getting no spoiler alerts. Like nobody has time for all those spoiler alerts that make you less excited about the show because you've seen everything on social media. It's like I don't want to be seeing everything on social media. Let me see what else is there outside of what you have for us, right? Don't let me see everything on social media and then I'm not shocked about nothing. There is nothing to excite me. I'm just there like, "Oh, what is going on?" So I just feel like yeah, it's very very odd. But we'll have to see how it plays out. Um Okay, let's see if Cynthia has anything else to add.
And I just hope like hell that it's not me. That's what
Girl, talking about you hope it's not you. You don't want that K Michelle smoke. Yeah, I don't see K Michelle going after Cynthia, to be completely honest. I don't really see that happening.
I hope, because I can personally say to my knowledge, I'm not plotting or scheming against her or anyone else. So it's like a little murder mystery.
Sure.
Yeah. Do you know what? I feel like on the show, Cynthia shows a lot of personality on her show with Crystal. But I feel like outside of the show with Crystal, I don't think she brings enough of the personality, if I'm being completely honest. I don't think she brings enough of the personality, to be honest, on Real Housewives of Atlanta most times. I will say I want to see if this season she is being put to work. And if she's saying she's on a girls' trip and people are putting her to work, honey, that means they want her to work for that check, check, check. Cause who knows? Do you think she's getting paid more than the newbies are getting paid on Real Housewives of Atlanta? Do you think she gets paid more as a friend of versus somebody like Kelly, for instance? or somebody like Angela on the show. Let me know what you guys think. Because I feel like it would be, maybe that's why the castmates are like, nah, you got to work for that coin, honey, because we hear you're getting a cute coin from Bravo, whilst we are doing most of the work. So let's put you to work. Okay. It's killing the anticipation. Yes, I absolutely agree. I think that um constantly posting spoiler alerts is not having the desired effect. Instead, it just makes you just feel like, oh, this, I've seen it all, and I don't really want to be bothered to see what else is out there. So I wish they would do better with that. There's no need for you guys to show us everything. Like, leave some things for the imagination. Now, I'm not completely against showing a little something here and there, whet our appetite a little bit. I'm not mad at that, but I feel like the problem comes when it just feels like you're constantly trying to whet our appetite, and then in real life, you barely give us anything, right? So if you think about how last season of Real Housewives of Atlanta, there was so much, like literally so many spoiler alerts. We found out what happened with Brit and Kenya before the whole thing came out. And so if you think about like everything, right, you think about the fact that all of that was out there in the world, right, before. And you just think like clearly this cannot continue, because we found out everything. We, at some point, we were just even thinking like, why are we even watching this? Because we know everything that has happened through social media. So it shouldn't be that way. You can't just show us everything and still expect us to show up bringing the energy, to show up watching all the shows. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And so I just wish Bravo will quit showing us all this, all the clips, quit trying to build the anticipation. I think today I saw a clip of Pinky, Cole, and Drew, and it looks like almost like they were getting into it. And I just thought, like, why do you lot keep showing us this? Like, we get it. You want to get us excited for the new season, but this is not the way to go about it. That's why there are trailers, right? Use the trailer to get us excited about the show, not sneak peeks and exposing things and the cast going rogue and talking about stuff. Like, that is just entirely too much. But guys, hey lovelies, welcome to Reviews and Recaps. Hit that like button as you guys come in. To those who have just joined, please hit that like button. Thank you very much. Okay, so we're going to move on to Heart and Hustle Houston. This time around, I am going to play some clips for you guys for Heart and Hustle Houston. Because I just feel like there are some things that they are better shown, like they're better for you to see it, right? I feel like it's not going to hit the same way if I'm talking about it, as opposed to me showing you guys the clips so you guys can see it for yourselves. I say that because low-key, I feel like so much happened in the season finale of the show, and I can show you better than I can tell you. Okay, so let's do that together. So I did write some timestamps, which I think would help, just so we're not like just going through everything like from scratch. So let me make sure you guys can see it. Fantastic. Looks like you guys can see it. Okay, so let's play this. And the reason I really want to talk about this is because I feel like so much happened in this particular scene with Alaina and her husband. So much happened, and I feel like I want us to be able to watch together, notice the facial expressions, and then talk about it together. I am going to be pausing this throughout so that like you guys can see, so we can chat. And of course, you know, I'm not trying to get copyrighted, so I'm gonna keep pausing, okay, and giving the commentary as well. All right, so let's go.
To change our lives. I didn't handle things correctly.
I didn't handle things correctly, okay?
And in that moment, instead of talking through things, I tried to solve a problem on my own.
Look at her face. This is the face of someone that does not give a dang anymore. This is the face of somebody who has been pushed to the wall. It's given, I have been pushed so much, I do not want to see I do not want to hear nothing about it. I do not want to see that. She looks like she is completely over the BS. You know, when someone has done certain things over the years or has done things constantly to you, and so even when it seems like they're taking accountability, you're just looking like, that is exactly the vibe I get from her.
Josh and I are in this space because I trusted him with our finances, and he was in the stock market and he lost over hundreds of thousands of dollars.
I'ma just pause. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Are you kidding me? Hundreds. Like, I want you guys to listen. Hundreds and thousands of dollars. It wasn't $1,000. It wasn't $2,000. It wasn't 100,000. Hundreds of thousands of dollars. That is giving money, right? That's giving serious money. Okay.
He was doing these investments and losing money for a year before I even found out.
Listen to that. He was doing these investments and losing money for a year. A year. Okay. A year before she even found out. So at this point, it's given this man was low-key just gambling with the money. He was just like, I'm going to spend the money today. I'm going to spend the money on whatever it is I want to spend the money on. I'm going to buy this, I'm going to buy that. And if it's not working, I'll buy some more. Like, honey, at what point during the 100,000 and something dollars that you lost, did you think, wait, let me talk to my woman, my wife about it? Let me let her know what is going on. Let me tell her, honey, I am not out here, you know, trying to do this. I really am looking out for us. Why wasn't this? Why didn't you find out from your husband? Why didn't he tell you? Honey, you just lost this. I'm so sorry. I'm going to get it back. This is what I'm trying to do to get it back. No, he was wasting money, hundreds of thousands of dollars, without her being aware of it, without her consent. Imagine working so hard for your money only to find out that some husband of yours, person that you know, was out here wasting your money. That is a betrayal. Absolutely horrific. It's like pulling the wool over someone's eyes. Absolutely crazy.
It wasn't until I asked to purchase something new for the studio that he had to tell me, like.
So this man, I just want to put this in perspective so like we can all understand. This man was cool to continue to pretend like everything was good with the money until she needed to buy something for the studio. So imagine she did not have a purchase that she needed or didn't have something she wanted to purchase. He would have continued to act like they had the money. He would have continued to act like everything was good. What if a serious need happened Like something happened with the kids and they need money, like God forbid. What if something that extreme happened? This man would have continued to lie and act like there was money when there was no money because he had wasted the money. You have to be careful and scared of people like that, because it's like, it's one thing to make a mistake, but it's like, after your mistake, why didn't you just come out to tell the truth? Why couldn't you just go to your wife to say, honey, I made a mistake. I made a really bad investment. I am sorry. This was not my intention, but this is what the result is. This is what has happened. I'm so sorry. How can we fix it? Instead, you continue to dig a hole and you continue to get deep down into the hole. When was enough going to be enough? How long were you going to continue to be able to pretend in front of your wife like everything was good when it wasn't? People like that, you have to be scared of people like that, because how can you sleep in the same bed with this woman knowing fully well that her livelihood, her money, her savings has been squandered? Do you even care about her? Do you even care about her life? Are you even low-key concerned about how she's feeling? These are the things that I want to know, because I just don't see what world where it is ever okay as a husband, as a spouse, as whatever, to go in, take the money, do whatever you want without having a conversation with your wife, losing the money, and then continuously losing the money for a year and not telling your wife. That is absolutely bizarre to me. Absolutely shocking. That shows that that man does not respect you. He does not value you. He does not care about you remotely. Does not care about your well-being. Has no empathy for you. Imagine you as a breadwinner. You're out here working hard, getting your money, doing your thing, and this man is out here spending your money anyhow and not even telling you don't have any money left. That's the behavior of somebody who is a gambler. You know, they go out, or who has some sort of gambling sort of, I'm not trying to say he has an addiction, but I don't know if you guys ever watch Judge Mathis. Judge Mathis is always calling people crackheads and saying people have crackish ways, right? Even when they are not actually crackheads, right? I say that to say some people can have certain traits and behaviors that remind you of the way certain addicts behave, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they are an addict. I'm just putting that out there, right? Just so to clarify what I'm talking about. But I just feel like the way it's very much given somebody who behaves like a gambler, right? You're spending money, you're losing money, yet you continue to spend the money. It's like, what do you think is going to happen? It's like people that constantly play and continue to gamble their life savings away, saying like, "Oh, I'm going to get more, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it." And you keep pouring more money into it and wasting money and wasting money. It's like, when is enough going to be enough? Anyways, let's keep watching.
We don't have anything to pull from. I had to sell my home.
Whoa. Let that marinate for a second. She had to sell her home. She had to sell her home. And if you guys notice the words that she's using, she's not saying we had to sell our home. She's saying, I had to sell my home. That gives me the impression that this is a woman that is the one doing the work for the money. She's basically bringing the bacon in. Because if it's something where he was also a contributor, then she would have said, oh, we had to sell our home or something, right? Not, I had to sell my home.
I had to figure out how I'm going to build my savings back up. And I couldn't believe all of this was gone.
Why do you feel like it's taking you so long to say that?
I'm embarrassed for one, not keeping my eye on everything.
I absolutely get where she's coming from. It's like when you feel like you could have done better or kept your eye on stuff and you didn't, you low-key feel like you failed yourself. And I also think because she has protected him for a long time, like at the start of the show, we were all wondering what happened. What did he do? Did he cheat? What did he do? And she was quiet about it. But I feel like she has definitely decided to leave him because now she's like, yeah, I'm going to speak on it. And you're well within your right to speak on it. At the end of the day, someone who caused you to be in this situation should not be able to control whether or not you talk about something that has happened to you. You have it is within your right to talk about it if that is what you want to do. So I'm glad she's able to feel comfortable enough to openly talk about it and have the conversation. I do think the conversation needs to be had. So I'm glad they're sitting down and talking to a therapist about it.
I'm embarrassed for fully trusting someone. I am embarrassed for
Honestly, I feel bad for her because it's like, imagine working so hard. And you guys remember when I first covered the first episode, I talked about how I've known of her for so long. She's an OG makeup artist. She is amazing at what she does. Imagine building all of that, building your studio. And I saw a comment in her comment section talking about how she downsized. And it's sad because it's like you work so hard, you putting so much effort into your craft, and someone squandered the money. That is financial infidelity. This man squandered the money, didn't tell you about it, and continued to squander the money. That is absolutely horrible. And to then put into perspective the fact that you've been working tirelessly, constantly, and now you have to downsize your studio because your husband did not do what he was supposed to be doing. First of all, she was very graceful in even letting him manage the accounts, considering he was not the breadwinner. How many women will actually give you access to their finances the way she gave him access to their finances? A lot of women will be like, nah, you ain't paying the bills. You do not need to know. You don't need to have my account. You don't need to know what's in my account. But it's obvious that she was out here trying to be, in quotation marks, the good wife. She was trying to make sure her husband had the resources. She was also trying to not make him feel bad because she is the breadwinner. I feel like she was trying to overcompensate by giving him access to everything and having him be the one in charge of the finances while she's out there working. Now, let me be clear. This doesn't mean that this cannot work. There are families where a partner is the one bringing in the bacon and the other partner is the one that manages because they are really good at managing. However, in this situation, when you're with someone who is dishonest, when you're with someone who has no sense of when things have gone too far, the fact that this man couldn't think, yo, losing the first 100 was not enough for him to wake up and think, okay, I need to make sure my wife is good. I cannot continue to lose money. I need to talk to her about it. That shows you the nature of who you're dealing with. And so it is so sad that she's having to go through that, but it's like he's exposed who he truly is. You know, to be fair, in all fairness, he did expose who he was when he cheated before he got married to her. It's a sad situation, but that's the thing. Sometimes we think that, infidelity is just what it is, like, oh, just infidelity. But any man that cheats on you can lie, is full of deceit anyway. Of course, he's going to hide if he's wasting your money and spending your money on God knows what. you can't expect a man that was not honest with you and was stepping out on you, was disrespectful by cheating on you, to be honest when it comes to money that you made. But let's keep watching.
I'm embarrassed for staying when I knew that this was too hurtful for me to stick around for.
It's okay, boo. She looks good though. You look good, babes. But I do get it. I feel like, but it's not your shame to carry. I wish that she would let that go. It's not your shame to carry. This is the man who did what he did, right? It's completely sad. It shouldn't have happened, but that's the reality of what has happened, right? So it is not her shame to carry.
So Josh, you broke what we would call the covenant of marriage. You made a solo decision, not a marital decision, but it was covered with.
Look at the way she's looking at him. The way she's looking at him is given she's cold. She is over it. She does not give a dang. That is what it's given. She's just looking at him like, get out of my face. That is a woman that is no longer interested in you. She is fed up with you. She has had enough of you. And I can understand, because I can't imagine how hard I work and somebody ever doing that to me. So I can only imagine how she feels, and my heart really goes out to her.
It's a marital. Like, I'm doing this for us.
In that moment, I felt small.
Did you guys hear that? He felt small. This is why, low-key, I always say, be careful when you're dating a man that earns less than you. A man that is not as driven, that is not as ambitious as you. Be careful of dating a man that you have to take care of, because most times they become resentful of you. They become resentful. So I would say be mindful. That if I had to give y'all one advice today, take it from someone who has done it before. They be getting so resentful because you're the breadwinner. Now, let me be clear. I've never taken care of nobody, but I'm saying, like, I've dated people that have earned less than I did, and they were definitely resentful of me. So, not something I want to do again.
Mm-hmm.
I felt small. And so I tried to do what I felt at that moment.
You felt small, so you decided to waste her money. Are you guys listening to what this man is saying? Now, he didn't outrightly say that he felt small is why he decided to waste her money, but he's basically telling you that is what it is. Because he felt small, he felt like he had to exert control over what it is that she has. And how else do you exert control than by spending her money however you saw fit, without talking to her about it? That is lying, that is stealing, that is taking something that does not belong to you and then doing whatever you felt like doing with it.
Was going to change our lives.
I don't for a second believe that that man thought that it was going to change their lives. I think he was insecure. He was insecure about the fact that she's the breadwinner in the relationship. He could not take it that she's the breadwinner in the relationship. And because of that, he took that out on her. I think he took it out on her money. He thought, okay, let me take the money. Let me do whatever it is I want to do with the money. Let me try this out. But it's like, it's one thing to try it out and lose some money. Things happen. I have stocks. Sometimes you see stocks, and I was looking at it the other day and I was like, okay, the stock isn't doing too well. But you don't constantly, like, it's like some of the ones that are not doing well. It's like me then saying, okay, let me let me go get more money for my savings. Let me pour it into the ones that are not doing well. Like, sir, are you okay? At what point did you think, let me stop and have a conversation with my wife about how I'm using her money? Let her know what the risks are of putting money in something like this. Right? It's like, why didn't you think? Why didn't it even come across to you to have a conversation with your wife? That's because you wanted to do it all by yourself, because you wanted to take the credit. You wanted it to be such that she never has to have any credit for any input into that. You can say, see, I took this money and I brought the bacon, so that she can rub your head and say, thank you, well done for bringing home the bacon. She knew who you were when she married you. She didn't marry you because she wanted you to bring the bacon. Okay? And if you wanted to bring the bacon, you could have thought about ways to be able to support her in what she is doing. If it's you have to add some processes into her business, whatever you need to do to help her succeed at the business, since the business is what's bringing home the bacon. Or you could have started your own thing, maybe had her invest in it. These are some of the ways that you could have. Instead, you chose the more volatile option. And even when you realized that it was volatile, you still kept pouring into it. That shows that low-key, indirectly, subconsciously, you wanted to humble her. You wanted to sabotage her. Now, that's why I said subconsciously. I don't think it was an intentional decision where he thought, let me sabotage her. No. I think that it was a subconscious decision. It's like when you're resentful of somebody, it's very easy to take steps that are contrary to what is beneficial to them. And I think this was a perfect example of her husband in that situation doing exactly that.
We weren't in a bad space financially, right? To even feel the need to do that.
So tell me what you believe.
Did you hear that? They weren't even struggling for money, yo. It wasn't like they needed him to like gamble and be like, okay, let's go, change this money from 100K to 200K. There was no need for that. Things were good. Yet he decided to sabotage them. That's because there's no individuality. There is no, not that there is no individuality. There is no, it's almost like there's no collective in their union. It's like everyone is doing their own thing. There's so much individuality. No collective, no unison. You're in a marriage. This is not your money. This is you guys' money. So it should have been a conversation. There should have been agreement on how the money should be spent. There should be constant updates about what's going on with the money. That's how it should have happened. But instead, he wanted to take all the glory, all the credit, and then ended up sabotaging her in the process and sabotaging the family.
Motivated that decision.
I don't want to say it. I feel like at that time.
No, tell me what you believe. It's okay.
Okay. At that time, I feel like I was the breadwinner.
Mhm.
And I think that.
Look at his facial reactions to her saying that she was the breadwinner.
He just wanted to be that breadwinner in that moment.
Okay.
And that's how I felt.
I do have an issue with the
Okay. Now listen to what this man says in response.
breadwinner comment. Only because
I do have an issue with the breadwinner comment. Was she a breadwinner or not the breadwinner? Like, what issue? It's not even like she said it in a derogatory way, in a way that was horrible. She just said she felt like she was the breadwinner and he wanted to be the breadwinner. That's pretty self-explanatory. That's pretty straightforward. I don't really know why it almost feels like he doesn't like the comment of being the breadwinner. It's like, honey, were you the breadwinner or was she the breadwinner? Is it true or is it false? Guys, please hit that like button as you guys come in. Thank you so much. The likes are not matching the amount of people in this live today, so please hit that like button. Thank you.
there are other segments of the business that I was heavily involved in. And so the business made a lot of money. And so when COVID happened and the business shut
Did you see her face? She looks like he is lying right now. He's lying through his teeth. That is the vibe that she is given. She is not pleased with it. She is not convinced. She is like, look at this liar.
down, I got scared because I'm like, if this is what we both put our time and effort into for all these years.
Wow. Her facial expressions are telling. She is out here telling us everything, honey. She is like, not this man lying through his teeth.
And as a man at that point, only thing I was doing was a makeup brand. I wasn't doing anything else.
What is clear is that you were.
The only thing I was doing was her makeup brand. I wasn't doing anything else. Okay. But were you doing enough? If you were being paid a salary to do your job, how much would you be getting? Because I think sometimes people overemphasize their own importance, but it's like, yo, if you're doing a few admin bits here and there, you're doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, I can pay someone to do that, honey. You do not need to be my business partner. I can pay somebody to do that.
We're dealing with a man who was feeling insecure with his position in the house. Not because you made him feel that way, not because you invalidated him in that way, but there was something in him. He had his own expectations of himself, and he probably didn't feel like he was meeting them. Unfortunate part, though.
This is it. This is it. He had his own expectations and he wasn't fulfilling them. And then he was taking it out on the one person that he should not have been taking it out on.
Is its impact on you? And
That's the part. So if you see that, if you know that, and you've seen me work as hard as I did, why would you do the one thing that's going to hurt me?
Why would you do the one thing? You see how hard she works. You see her grinding from sun up to sundown. Yet you take the money and you spend the money. This is why I feel like it's so difficult to, how can I put it? This is why I feel like it's so difficult, honestly speaking, because it just feels like, how can you take something that was belonging to you guys, knowing fully well how hard she works, and then you completely make a mockery of it, waste it, and then you're not even being proactive about resolving the relationship. If you noticed, she had to be the one suggesting counseling for both of them. And even when she first brought it up, he didn't even want to go to counseling. He said he wants to do his own private counseling first. And I'm like, dude, if you're really serious about your wife, you will do whatever it takes to get her back. Right? You will not be saying, oh, you want to do your own private counseling first. You're like, baby, if you want us to do counseling, let's do counseling. I'm here to do whatever it takes to get you back. And that's the thing. I feel like Alaina was hoping that he would fight for her, but he is a low effort individual. He ain't gonna do nothing. He is not going to do anything to fight for her. And this is why I say, like, for women, my advice, don't be dating low effort men. Because when you date low effort men, even when it's time for them to fight for you, when it's time for them to stand up and do what needs to be done, they will not be doing what needs to be done. They will be dragging their feet, believing that you are never going to leave them. Right? If you compare that with a high effort individual, that person does not forget your birthdays. They don't do stuff like this. They communicate with you because they value the relationship. They put in the effort to make sure that it works.
This has been a weight on me that has been heavy, that has been affecting me. It changed me. I'm not going to be as trusting moving forward, including Josh. And it's sad. I feel like it's a good girl turned cold.
And I see you for where you are currently. I do. And I know why you are there. I want this. I want you.
He said, I want this, I want you. Look at her face, please. Can you see that face? That is the face of someone that is over it. That is the face of someone that does not care anymore. Yep, she is done. She is done. She does not care. She does not want no parts of it. She is fully over it. Look at that face. She has had enough of that man. And I don't blame her. Can anyone blame her? It's one thing to cheat on her after proposing to her, and then now in the marriage, she's dealing with infidelity, financial infidelity. Imagine how disappointing and disheartening she must have felt to wake up one morning or night or whatever and find out that your home needs to be sold because your man squandered your money. That's something a lot of people will struggle to forgive. It's like now you've lost every single thing that you worked hard for because one man chose to spend and waste your money. That is not cool at all. And so I don't blame her for her energy and her feeling done. And it's easy to be done with a man like that. Let's say it was even a man that pulled out all the stops because he knew that you were upset and wanted nothing to do with him. Maybe you'd be feeling a little bit better because you feel like, okay, at least my man is really showing that he wants to be with me. He's really sorry. But this man does not even look like he's pulling out no stops. This man looks like he's just like, oh, okay, what else do I need to do? Because I need to come into the house. I need to come into the room. That's what it's given.
And I understand if you can't. I get it.
Oh my gosh. Let me be clear. No man that wants to be with you will say, and I understand if you don't want it. Men would say, I really want to be with you. I'm so sorry. They will do if they know you love flowers, they will be sending flowers constantly. If they know you love physical affection, they would be there present, trying to woo you left, right, center, trying to be like, oh, remember the first day we met? That's what these people do. So the fact that this man wasn't out here doing none of that, and instead he's telling you, well, if you don't want to, it's cool. That man does not care. That man does not want to be with you. That man wants to be free. You know that the song from I think it's Sweet Tea's husband, Dr. Gregory, set me free. That man wants to be set free. He is not interested, okay? He does not want no parts of it. He is not here for it at all.
But I do want this.
But I do want this. Nah, he does not. He does not. He is just saying what he feels like he needs to say. He does not want this. Don't lie to yourself.
I do want this. From the beginning, I loved you, and I still do.
She doesn't believe that. She's just looking at him like, She's just looking at him like, I think she is grieving what she has lost.
Just part of me.
I don't even think, look at his face. I don't get the impression he even understands the gravity of what he has done. Or maybe he's used to her burying things under the rug, moving on from things that he has done, and just acting like everything is all good. Because she is so distraught. She's practically crying. This man doesn't even go over there to like hug her, hold her, console her. Baby, don't cry. I'm so sorry. I really shouldn't have. He's so disconnected emotionally. And I don't understand. My question is, has he always been disconnected in the relationship? Or is this a new thing? If this is a new thing, is he seeing somebody outside? These are the questions that I would be curious to ask. But if this is who he has been all the while, then he's not an emotionally available person to date, not to talk of marrying.
Doesn't know if I have the capacity to keep going.
You're hurt.
Yeah. I just wanted just that trust to be rebuilt.
I know this is completely left field, but her makeup did not move while she was crying.
I wanted just to feel safe and secure in my marriage again. It's nice that he is bringing this up and taking accountability, but I don't know, it's just hard to move past those big hurts.
Josh, what's happening? Mm-mm.
I feel like I
Even her face, man, I can't lie, her face is sending me, like, my face has me like cracking up because she is done with this man and he's over there like trying to cry and she's just looking at him like,
let myself down and I let my family down. So it's like a double whammy for me. And I'm trying, I promise you I'm trying.
yeah, she doesn't really believe the I'm trying. I feel like he's not doing enough. And that much is evident in the way in which she reacts to when he says he's trying. She just looks like, if this is trying, I don't know. Like, this is not going to work for me. You see how she was consoling him? That's what he should have been doing to his wife, who he hurt. And I feel like that just shows the unhealthy, disproportionate skills in their relationship. She cries, he does nothing. He doesn't even move, he doesn't shift, he has no empathy towards her. He is not like trying to console her in any way. He didn't even move closer, he didn't even hold her hand. He did absolutely nothing to try to make her feel better. The moment he starts crying, she leans in and then he leans towards her for comfort. You're the one that did wrong, sir. She's the one babying you in this moment. But when she was going through it and crying, you didn't even have the decency to be like, I'm so sorry, babe. Put your hand on her lap, put your hand on her back, even if you didn't want to move it closer to break the space. You could have done either of these things to make her feel better, but you chose not to. Because you're a very low effort person. And you're not trying. You're just saying it in words. You're using words to say you're trying, but your actions are not aligning. Honestly, I feel like things with Josh and Alaina have been that way for a long time. I feel like their dynamics have been so unevenly balanced. I feel like it's always been in favor of Josh. I think Josh has always been on the receiving end of love, affection, money, everything. And Alaina has not been loved correctly. She has not been catered to correctly. She has not found a safe space in Josh, because she can't even trust him. First is infidelity, now is financial infidelity. It's like, of course you can't trust him. He's not a safe landing for you. And so I just think that there is definitely a lot that has transpired in the relationship. And yeah, it's really not looking good at all. Now let's shift gears to the girlies. I want to say, first of all, I'm loving the girls on the show. I think everyone has something that they bring to the show, and I'm really excited. I love how supportive they are of each other's ventures. I love how they're supportive of each other in general. I feel like I'm so tired of the cattiness that we've seen in lots of women groups. And so it's really exciting to see a group where there isn't that level of cattiness. Now, of course, there is conflict. Yes. However, conflicts are part of life. You love your best friends, but yes, sometimes you guys don't get along, and that is okay. You talk about it, and then you get over it. And so I love the fact that the show is showing that element of being able to have disagreements and squash it, still be able to be in the same space at the same time together, and have a wonderful time. So I'm going to fast forward it because I do want to show you some clips really quickly. Because I feel like I really want to talk about the dark cloud comment, but there are some parts that I really want you guys to see for yourself. Okay, let's go.
Times when you go through a lot, you can fall out of love with somebody.
Absolutely.
That's all that.
Resentment.
Yeah, resentment is heavy. It was really like a dark cloud just hanging over you. And if
Okay. It was really like a dark cloud hanging over you. So I think at first this is okay, but I feel like where it goes afterwards is where it goes left for me.
we all felt that. We all felt that energy time and time again. And it got to a point where it's like, we want to be there for you, but sometimes it can be difficult because it's like we're starting to consume that dark energy and don't really know how to handle it.
I thought that me.
Now, that's the bit that I felt was entirely too far. It's getting to the point where we're now having to consume the dark energy and we don't know how to. That is where I feel like it went too far. It's one thing to say this lady has dark energy. It's another thing to say that people around her are now consuming the energy. That will not make anybody feel good. To hear that they have a dark cloud, now they have a dark energy following them everywhere. People are going to be unhappy or defensive about that statement. That is just sadly the reality of it, right? And so I just think that Muneera needs to be a bit more careful about what she says and how she says it, in my opinion.
and Muneera had a deeper friendship. And it's that dark cloud comment that I have issues with. So as a friend,
I hear it.
I don't think it should be labeled dark cloud. Do I carry it all the time? I
do.
As a friend, she does not want to be labeled as someone having dark energy. And here's my thing. Even if your friend had dark energy, was that the right time to say that to her in front of all these women? That's a question. Is there ever a right time to tell somebody that they have dark energy? That's the question. These are the questions I have. Is there ever a time, let me know what you guys think. Is there ever a time where it's okay for you to tell your friend that she has dark energy? Let me know in the chat, guys. So I'm going to play this now because I feel like let's get to the bottom of this drama.
My storm may not be your storm, but if I'm going through a storm, lend me your umbrella.
Yeah.
I know last night it was mentioned with Alaina that she hadn't been herself, and it was either like a dark cloud or, you know, sometimes reaching out.
I did.
Why would you say dark cloud though?
You had a dark cloud over you.
No, I didn't.
Okay, so Alaina is pissed about it, of course.
I just want you to take this in and not be like on the defense mode.
I'm not on defense mode,
Wait,
but
yes, you are.
Okay, do y'all see
No,
my
I'm not.
feelings?
This is the thing. And this is the thing that, if you guys remember, I said I noticed about Alaina. I feel like she has this tendency to not let people speak sometimes that I really don't like. I feel like there needs to be a balance where you let somebody speak and then you speak, right? Now I will say Muneera has her faults in this, and we're going to talk about everyone's faults in a second. Let's keep watching.
Just
I am
listen,
not on
guys.
defense.
Alaina.
I would never, as your friend,
It's okay. Go
no,
ahead.
as your friend, I would never say that there's a dark cloud around you. I would make sure you're good.
We haven't
that's
made
the
sure you're
difference.
good. So we haven't checked on you. We haven't made sure you're good.
I would
this
say
whole
no, not
time?
through the
Are
entire
you
process.
serious?
Not through the entire process.
Alaina, are you-
Because you weren't sharing it with us. We didn't know it first. You were acting like
I'm
everything was
talking to her,
good.
so-
Alaina,
No. Did you hear that? You were acting like you were good. We did not know at first. You were acting like you guys were good. I think that says what Rose said.
we're even saying that I wasn't there for you. I didn't check on you. What?
Through the entire process, no. And I can honestly say that.
It's deeper than just this conversation. So to just say that and leave it at that, that's not accurate because it's more to it.
You know what I sense watching these two? I feel like there is a lot that has happened in their so-called friendship that was never fully addressed. And I feel like they have now brought this to the show, and it is going to be a ticking time bomb. This is my personal opinion. You guys may disagree. But I feel like this is beyond just the comment about the dark cloud. Because what it sounds like is she feels there's something about you saying the dark cloud is not what a friend should say. And then Muneera, on the other hand, feels like Alaina is what do you call it? Is too needy, essentially. Because it's like, wasn't I there for you? You know, even when things were going out with me, like I was still there for you. And I feel like I understand where Alaina is coming from. I do not want to hear from my friend that you're saying that there's a dark cloud basically surrounding me. Like, I don't think that is going to make anybody feel good. And I wish that Muneera had heard her in that moment. Hear the heart of your friend. Your friend does not want, okay? Your friend does not want you using the word dark cloud. And for somebody who had such an issue with being called cute and cutesy, I would have thought that you would have more empathy for your friend who does not want you to use the word dark cloud as when you are associating with her or bringing up anything that has to do with her. That is very, very clear. And I just wish that Muneera took or left her pride to the side and in that moment just said, you know what? That was absolutely not my intention, but I am so sorry. That was not my intention. I wasn't trying to make you feel some type of like these are the things that you tell your friend that you care about. You don't turn it into a conversation or turn it into a thing where you guys are not hearing each other. And I feel like they both have bits where they are correct. With Muneera, I can understand sometimes feeling like I'm talking to you always on the phone. You're always complaining about the same things. You don't take any action. You don't do anything. So why do I have to still be on the phone to you addressing all of these different things? I completely get that because sometimes it's just like, why am I dealing with this if you're not? Like, why do I have to deal with this? Right? And so I think that Muneera feels like Alaina is very negative, and I can get that because it's like she's going through a divorce. Things are not great for her right now. A true friend will stick around her, stick by her, listen to her, talk to her, help her. But I also understand that people do not want to be dumped on, right? If somebody is only calling you when things are bad, they never have anything nice or positive to say to you, especially if this is the trajectory of their friendship, then I'm not surprised that things are not going so well because Muneera is tired of hearing it. Imagine you've had that one friend that you've been saying the same thing to for 10 years about how your man is not helpful, your man is not this, your man is not that. What do you think is going to happen? At some point, that friend is probably going to be fed up. Like, oh, if you want to stay with the man, stay with the man. If you want to leave the man, leave the man. Leave me out of this nonsense. And I think that's where Muneera is. So I would be very curious to know how long they have known each other for, how long they have been friends for, and when did they eventually become like best friends. Because I think those things are very, although I wouldn't say they're best friends, but I mean like one of the closest within this group at least, right? These are some of the things I would want to know because it very much feels like Muneera is not, does not want to hear it, I think Muneera is in that. I'm in a very happy space. Things are going great in my marriage. I don't want to hear your problems. I don't want to hear you talk about this so many times. And I get it. You don't want someone that constantly brings you down. But at the same time, I feel like sometimes your friends do need you. And things are happening, things are going on. Just listen. Listen. And I think that if they could both listen better, things would be better. I do think that Alaina has this bad habit of interrupting people when people are speaking. And she does it in a way that is can be very jarring. Because if I'm upset about something and I'm saying something I'm upset about and you interrupt me to say something else, it can be very, very aggravating, to be completely honest. And so I wish that Alaina would let Muneera speak. She already said, or she wants to say stuff, and you interrupt and you're constantly saying, okay, go ahead. And it's like, let her finish. In between her talking about what she's talking about, you're interrupting her to tell her to go ahead. Absolutely unnecessary. The conversation would not have even escalated, I feel, if that did not happen. Let me just check my notes just to make sure I have everything I want to talk about. I also think that their personalities don't mesh well at all. I think that they will continue to have issues. It's actually sad to say, but I really feel like they will continue to have issues, to be honest. Okay, one final point before I close this for the night, because I am tired. I'm starting to actually feel sleepy. I really loved when Labrina gave each of the girls their flowers and gave them different flowers with words. I feel like words are very important, and whenever you get the opportunity for friends and family to pour into you, I feel like that is an opportunity that you should never take for granted. I know for me, I'm looking forward to a moment where people are able to do that. For me, because I'm just like, I want to be able to hang on to those words and run with those words. But I love how Labrina gave each of the girls the flowers. I thought that was very, very sweet. I will say also, I love how Latoria suggested actually giving Labrina one of each as well. Because I think sometimes, like, as a giver, everybody gives to you because they have to, right? And so once you're a giver, sometimes you pour into people and no one really pours back into you. And so I really like that as Labrina poured into everybody, Latoria was thinking, okay, how can we pour into her? And then she did that by also then pouring into her. So I feel like, because I'm sure, like, especially with like first daughters or first children, you find that you may be doing so much for your family, so much for friends and everybody, and you just don't feel appreciated. You just don't feel like people care. And I feel like that is just, it's very, very beautiful for Labrina to have been thought of by Latoria. Like, okay, let's give her this because reciprocity was needed. I wish that the ladies poured into Labrina a little bit more, because I don't think they really said enough, in my opinion. But I will say altogether, it was a really, really good season finale. I would be watching the next season. Guys, please hit that like button, everyone. Please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Tap that bell button right next to it so you know every single time that I post or go live. I will be going live a lot more this month, so make sure you turn on all your notifications so that you don't miss a live. But yeah, thank you very much everyone for listening. Thank you very much to everyone in the chat, and thank you very much for helping me throughout my coverage of Heart and Hustle Houston. Thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in the next live. Thank you. Bye.